we want to be able to sit there and have epistemic debates about things, but is there a way that you can integrate that in a practical sense into our policy? Because I think that's the thing that a lot of people struggle with, is this idea of, yes, we have all these complicated issues, and then we spend time thinking about it, but all we end up is understanding exactly how complicated they are, which I think gets frustrated when people say, well, are we going to build the road or not? You know, so it's like, I mean, so is there some guiding principles that you think of, ways that you can use that to shuttle along better decision making, better conversation?
There's certain things that you're always going to return to. One is who has the power to make the decision, whose voices are heard in the decision making process, and what are they saying? What they're saying based on? What's their motivation? In terms of the road, this happened in a town near where I grew up, that there was a wetland, and they wanted to build a road through the wetland because it was going to make it way easier to get to this other highway, right? So, like, it was going to sort of, instead of, like, for where we live, instead of having to go through, over the mountain and through the town and on the highway all the way to the grocery store, which was like a 40-minute drive in traffic, you could just take this little back road, take this little highway through the wetland, and you're there in 15 minutes. So it seems great, right?
Yeah.
And it was a big controversy at the time because of exactly what we're talking about. And they won, and they built the road, and, okay, I was too young to sort of be up on it in the way that we're thinking about now, but because it was like an economic thing, and it would bring more businesses to the area, and they said, no, we're going to, like with a lot of wetlands and highways, they said, we're going to build this road here, but we're going to build a wetland over here, which is insane from an ecological standpoint, right? But in that case, if they had said, well, you know what, it's not just going to be the road, but then they're going to build a hotel, then they're going to build a gas station, then they're going to build this, like, state building over here. So, in fact, the original wetland that we told you that we were going to rebuild over here is not going to cut it. And we're going to tell you now that given the proposed development for this area, we actually can't relocate that much wetland. Even if the wetland works, even if this crazy idea that you can just rebuild a wetland in another place is sound, which we already know it's not, if you take into consideration sort of the projected economic development fully, it changes the whole perspective. So, it's how you tell the story becomes really important.
Well, it's kind of interesting because it's almost like the biggest thing here is almost that you're allowed to have a different value system, which I think is almost immediately dismissed in a lot of these conversations. The idea that there is an alternative. So I almost feel like the insight in your comment there is that the market value economy is not the only value system that's valid.
Yeah. I agree. So what if we gave those other value systems more weight?
Mm-hmm.